I have sound on Facebook. Okay, so now we are live on Facebook. That's one. Okay, so I'm just going to type there. I hope got sound. Alright, so Facebook is up. Okay, right now I'm totally relying on the display. So the display in front of me is showing the audio level on OBS Studio. So on OBS Studio, I have two sound coming in. One is from you all. So you all are coming in under what they call as desktop, and the other sound is coming in from my microphone. Okay, so that sound is supposed to go to you all. Okay, it is supposed to go to you all. Okay, I know you're not seeing this. Okay, so the sound is going through you all through the microphone, and I'm also getting the sound from you all from the speakers. So it's going to my headset. Okay, my video is being fed to you through the OBS Studio. So OBS Studio virtual camera is combining the feed from my Atem Mini uh, and my notebook. Okay, so I have two things being controlled by my Atem Mini, which is my notebook. You see now my notebook, and the other is this camera. So this camera, as mentioned just now, is my SJ cam. The compared between SJ cam and the GoPro, SJ cam is better in the sense that the video out is what we call real time. So it is the same as the small input you see down there, which is coming from my Insta360. My GoPro is still here. It's here. Okay. So what's the problem with the GoPro? Why I'm not using it? Sebab there's a delay a few seconds. But the nice thing about the GoPro, it is a clean HDMI output. So I have a problem here, trying to decide whether to use the clean HDMI or trying to use the SJ cam, but SJ cam does not have a clean HDMI. So these are the things, some of the issues I have with my setup. So my apologies for the intrusion of the letters. At least down there you have the date. So you can see the date. Okay. So now we're going to go to the lecture proper. So I'm going back to my notebook. So this is my notebook. Okay. Uh, so what is the beauty of this method of teaching? You all can see my URL on the. You guys all can see my URL at the scrolling text at the bottom of my screen. So you can go there. So you just go to drtimer.me, go to FK6193, then you can get the notes here. So you can see here, if you click on FK6193, you can see here there's a list of all the notes there. And right now we're doing Cox Regression. So the Cox Regression notes are not really mine. The Cox Regression notes are based from the Y.H. Chan article. So the Y.H. Chan article, okay, is from the Singapore Medical Journal, SMJ. So this article is nice in the sense that it explains on how to do survival analysis in brief. Wai Shan he came up with a list of articles, so you can check it out at Singapore Medical Journal. Okay, so all the articles are there, so you can just go and check it out. You can click on it, you can get the full article. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with the article itself. Okay, I'm going to get a full screen of this. Okay, so we have a full screen. Cannot give full screen. Why cannot give full screen? Now I cannot see. You all cannot see because my body is blocking. Okay, never mind. So the whole point I'm going to focus is what we did last week. So last week we talked about Kaplan Maya. Last week we talked about Kaplan Maya. Okay, so when we talk about Kaplan Maya, you all ask, Doctor, why we are not showing the analysis? Okay, all right, my apologies. Suddenly my screen become green again. Stop virtual camera, start again. Okay, okay, okay. And now I'm going to show you. Okay, so I think you can see this. Okay, so you can see my video. Uh, is it sharp?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Because I have a friend of mine. He tried to do the same trick like mine, and the students complained that the picture is not sharp enough. Okay. So in this case, Wai Chan, what he did was he came out with a hypothetical data set. Okay. He gave 25 lung cancer patients, and these 25 lung cancer patients were followed up over time, and over time, some of them died. Some of them died. So they are doing a survival analysis, and the endpoint of interest is death. Okay. So as you can see, there's a star behind each one of the some of the symbols. The star denotes censored data. Censored data means patient did not die. Patient did not die. Okay, so patient. Yeah. So as stated there, we cannot ask patient to die lah, so that they reach the end point. So they just recorded the data, taking into account the duration of survival. Okay, so the data will be presented like this, as shown below. So you can see here, it is the subject number, how long they survive. Okay, and whether at the end of follow-up, whether they're still alive or not. So those who have reached the endpoint is coded as 1. Those who did not reach the endpoint is coded as 0. Okay. Okay, so right now, okay, for the sake of analysis, I have prepared a dummy data. Okay, right now I'm going to jump to the dummy data. Okay. Cannot. Ah, okay, sekejap I need to press F11. Okay, correct. Okay, so this was the PowerPoint. So I'm going to download this one. Why download? So that it does not affect my ability to teach. So I'm going to go back on this one. Okay. So you can see here we have a dummy data. So I'm going to click on the dummy data. I am going to demonstrate analysis Kaplan-Meier, how we do this using the SPSS. So this one was what you all asked last week, how to do this analysis. Okay, so as you can see down there, the data is already there. So I'm going to click on the data. It's going to open up SPSS. Okay. Okay. So, one, two, camera. Okay. It's taking time to load up. It's already 8:42. Okay. So this is a 25 data set of the lung cancer patient. Okay. By right, I'm supposed to put the number of the cases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 25. But when I was doing this exercise, I was a bit lazy. So I did not put in the index number. So I just put in the duration. So we have the duration of time and whether patient reached the endpoint at the end of the follow-up. At the end of the follow-up. So at the end of the study, whether the patient reached the endpoint or not. So those who reached the endpoint was coded as 1. Those who did not reach the endpoint was coded as 0. Okay. As you can see here, the label is not there. So if you want to code, you should put the code as 1 as endpoint, then the 0 as censored. Okay. So we're going to do analysis. So how we do the analysis? We click analyze, survival. Okay. Okay. Right now my monitor is blocking me. Sorry, my camera is blocking me. But I just try. Okay. Okay. The duration of survival is time. Duration of survival is time. So I stated here duration of survival is in months. Okay. Status, we shifted to the status. What is the event? The event is coded as 1. Okay. If they reach the endpoint, it is coded as 1. So we click continue. Okay. So what's done? Once that is done, you click on options. Okay. What do you want? You not only you want the survival table, the mean and median survival, you also want the survival plot. You also want the survival plot. Okay. So click continue. Click OK. Okay. So as you can see now, we have done the analysis. So you can see here on the data, we have the survival table. So the survival table is the same like what we did last week. So what we did last week, we calculated the probability of survival. So we calculated the probability of survival. So this is the estimate of the probability of survival. As you can see, you can only calculate the probability of survival if there is death. You can only calculate the probability of survival if there is death. The patient reach the endpoint. In this case, the endpoint is death. So you can see here, okay, at 6 months, 2 people died. Then they can calculate the probability of survival if it's 0.913. Okay. At 10 months, another 2% died. The probability is 0.822. At 12 months, about 3% died. You can calculate. If there is no death, the probability of survival cannot be calculated. So you can see here, at 44 months, patient did not die. There is no probability of survival. So here is the survival function. The probability of survival is here. So this is how you calculate. So the thing about survival analysis, if you do a survival analysis from the start till the end of your study, nobody died or nobody reached the endpoint, you are in trouble. Why you are in trouble? Because you cannot calculate the probability of survival. Okay. So that is why you have to have people who reach the endpoint during your study period. Alright? Alright, okay. So that I hope that's clear. So what will happen? Then you will get this function. This give you the mean and the median for survival time. Remember, survival analysis is a non-parametric analysis. In a way, it is non-parametric. Why? The duration of time is not normally distributed. Therefore, you cannot use the normal parametric analysis. So, because it is non-parametric, okay, you should be using the median. You should be using the median to compare the rate of survival, the, the probability of survival between group A and group B, if there is a grouping. So you should be using the median. But median, okay, median is the middle point for the survival cumulative. Okay, I don't know whether you can see this. Okay, I'm going to make it bigger. Okay. So here on the left side here is the cumulative survival function. Okay. So you only get the median when the survival function crosses 0.5. Crosses 0.5. So this is the median. I repeat, this is the median survival. So based on this, you go down. So the median survival is around 32 weeks. The median survival is around 32 weeks. Okay, so that is how we know the survival median. So that's why you get here, the median survival is 32 weeks. Okay, okay, I repeat, this is very important. When you want to compare survival, you should be using the median. Okay, if you want to compare the survival time, you should be using the median. Why? Because survival time is not normally distributed. Therefore, you should be using the median. The median is only available if your survival function drops below 0.5. Okay, if your survival function drops below 0.5, because the survival function, the median for survival function is at 0.5. So at 0.5, it is 32. So the median survival is 32 months. Sorry, 32 months for this case. So I hope that's clear. How we calculate the, how we can calculate the survival. Okay. All right. So
Prof,
yeah.
let's say kalau tak cross 0.5, maksudnya apa? Ada something wrong dengan data ke?
Tak, it just mean tak cukup patient. Not more than 50% of patients reach the endpoint.
Okay.
Alright, okay. It's either reach the endpoint or they got drop out lah. Either way they should be more than half reach the endpoint or got drop out. Okay. Okay, on the Facebook, people are asking me how I end up having a blog. I also forgot how much I paid for my domain name. I think I paid USD too. Aku tak ingat lah. Alright. Okay. Okay, so that is the story about the survival function. Okay, belum habis lagi, don't worry. That one was just the Kaplan-Meier. Okay, so we just get we do the, okay, that is not a real Kaplan-Meier. Why? So because by right, when you do Kaplan-Meier, you're comparing between two groups. You do not have two groups, there's only one. Okay. Okay. Can we proceed with the groups with Ichan? Terima kasih Farid. Hey Farid, please beli headset lah. Ada, sorry, just kidding. Alright. Okay. So that's the story about Uh, Survival analysis. We will show you Kaplan-Meier. Okay. So inside here, okay, Farid tanya soalan. Ya Dia tak berani bukan. Sorry Farid, sekejap Oh, it's alright. No problem. No worries. That's why I'm using a headset. Because I need to avoid feedback. Okay. I hate using headset. Why? Because my ear cannot stand it. But this one is a bit expensive. Cost me about 230 ringgit, I think. Can't remember exactly. The real retail price about 700 ringgit. So I got it cheap from Lazada. And surprisingly, it's quite comfortable lah. At least I can tahan 2 jam. So otherwise, the RM30 one, I can even last 20 minutes. Tak tahan, telinga lemas. Alright, so that's the story about survival analysis. I think you can see already on this one. So the data set that we got was this one. Oh, Allah Akbar, sorry. I keep having this problem. Okay. So this is the survival plot that we got. Okay. So those are, okay. Right now, we cannot use,
Ross?
yes, if you do not get it early enough, I will record now. So don't worry, you have not missed anything critical yet. We're still covering what we did last week. We're still recording we're still doing what we did last week. Basically today, up till now, I've just shown you how to do the analysis on SPSS. All right. Okay. So let's go to the next part. Okay, next part is you're supposed to compare. Okay. Problem with the dummy data set when when Chan gave the dummy data set, he just gave me this one, this list of data set. Okay. This one I can guess, I can enter into the SPSS. But the next part, when he talked about comparing, he did not share this data set. He did not share this data set. So, but he does explain on how to do comparison. Okay. To be fair to you all, okay, I am going to run this analysis on a data set that Chan discussed about. Okay. So what is the data set? The data set, if you look here on the website, the breast cancer survival data. So the breast cancer survival data. So click on the breast cancer survival data, you will download it. Okay. Where did I get this data set? I was looking through Chan's notes. Then I realized one of the sample data set within SPSS is the same data set that Chan uses for discussion. Dia macam mana pun, because of the effect of Ayub or Lin9 on statistic, uh, whenever I teach, I keep mentioning his name. So my apologies to Prof. Ayub or Prof. Lin9. But this set of notes I got from Chan. Okay, Chan. So as mentioned earlier, last week, I missed his class. On the survival analysis. So I do not know how I do not have his notes on how to do survival analysis. Okay, so this is the data on survival of cancer patient in USA. Okay, how many data set are there? 20,000 plus, I think. Sorry, 1,207. 1,207. If you look at the numbers, the ID is 1266, but there is a lot of missing data in between. So what we have here are the more complete data set. The rest has already been taken out. Okay. So what, as you all know, what factors affect survival of breast cancer? It is your lymph nodes, whether it is affected or not, whether the cancer got estrogen receptor or progesterone receptor, whether you have secondaries or not, whether the size of the tumor, which is indicative of the period of time you've been infected. So therefore, so therefore, uh, you can do a survival analysis, a Kaplan-Meier, one by one for all of these risk factors. Okay, I cannot do for age because why age? It is a continuous data, but I can do for lymph node positive or not. I can do for tumor size. Tumor size cannot. I can do for histological grade. I can do for presence of estrogen receptor and progesterone receptor. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how to do Kaplan-Meier, okay, one by one. So we're going to start with something simple. We're going to start with the lymph node positive or not, okay. So click Analyze, Survival, Kaplan-Meier, okay. So the first thing we are going to do, I'm going to put the duration of time. Okay, please take note, in this data set, there is a slight problem. If you remember what I said to you last week, the duration of survival cannot have decimal marks, decimal point. It should be round numbers. So you can have 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. This data set, they have decimal point up to 2 decimal, which is wrong. Okay, so by right, the duration of time should not have decimal. Why? Because you saw already how the survival function is calculated. Okay, so uh, for the survival function to be calculated, the time, the duration should be a round number. Okay, so that is the only problem with the data set. The survival time is not round number. Okay, it is continuous data. Okay, so let's run the analysis. So the time here is the time of survival. Okay, status. Okay, status is whether the patient is dead or alive. So status. Okay, how do we know what is the coding for status? Okay, you can see the word censored there. You off, it is 0. You on, so you can see here at the bottom there are some people who have reached the endpoint. So you have to take note of the coding for the endpoint. Okay, those who died, this one is coded as 1. So you will have to put status, define event, so the value is 1. Click continue. Okay, so right now I just mentioned to you just now, we want to do on lymph node present or absent. So we click here, lymph node. Okay, positive axillary lymph node. So we're going to shift it to the factor. Okay, so now we are going to ask for all the other things as usual, which is the option. You're going to get the survival plot. Continue. Okay, now because we got two situations, those with lymph node present and those without lymph node present in this breast cancer case. So we click on compare factor. So you want to compare, so which one to use? As mentioned last week, you got three choices. It could be either log rank, Breslow, or Teronware. So we take all three. Okay. So now we are going to click on continue. We click on OK. Okay, nothing much. I was worried it is one of you complaining about anything. Okay. Dia kata all cases censored. Haha. Okay, my apologies. I clicked the wrong one. I clicked the wrong one because I clicked on the number of lymph node affected, not lymph node. So I sorry I got the wrong one. So I take out again. Kaplamaya. I take out the lymph. It is not possessed with lymph node. Okay, I take out this one. I put in this one. Sorry, I got the wrong one. Okay, so we're going to do compare factor, log rank, continue. Option. Okay. Option should be the survival plot. Continue. Click OK. Okay. So now it says much better. Okay. Very sorry about that. Okay. So what happened was we have two groups now. Okay. The blue line is those with breast cancer but no lymph node. The green one are those with breast cancer but have lymph node. Okay, under survival analysis, the further down you are, the lower the probability of survival. So, the lower the line is, the lower is the probability of survival. Those who are high up, the higher the probability of survival. So, therefore, those who have lymph node, they die faster. Those who have lymph nodes involved by breast cancer, they will die faster. So you can do the same thing for all the variables. You can do the same thing for all the variables. We did just now was for presence and absence of lymph node. You click Kaplan-Meier. You take out lymph node. Okay. Now you put histological grade. Factor, histological grade. Click OK. Okay. So you can see here, histological grade, the well-defined one, they live longer. The poorly defined one, they die faster. Okay. Okay. So is it significant or not? Yes, it is significant. You can see there. Okay, this one, which one to use? Because the lines cross again. The lines cross again. So therefore, you can use either Breslow or was significant. The difference was significant. Those with lymph node die faster compared to those without lymph node. And you can see, you can look at the overall comparison. It is very, very significant. So you can see the values here. It is very, very significant. Okay. So that is how we look at. But please take note, because they don't cross the 0.5, we don't have the median. We only have the mean. So therefore, if you want to describe and you don't have the median, you will use the mean. You will use the mean. You can see compare significant or not, but you cannot use the median. You have to use the mean. Okay, so and that applies for all the other things. So I'm just going to complete the analysis. Survival, Kaplan-Meier. Okay, I'm having problem with my glasses. We have done the histologic grade. Take out the histologic grade. Put in the estrogen receptor. Click factor. Click OK. I'm not even going to look but I know it's significant. Okay, you can see that it is significant. Okay, those terbalik those with estrogen receptor present, they are better protected. Why? Because we can induce menopause, and when we induce menopause, there is no more estrogen hormone, and therefore they cannot stimulate the receptors on the tumor cells. Okay, so people with presence of estrogen receptor have a better chance of surviving breast cancer because we can induce menopause. Okay, again, I'm going to run the analysis for survival analysis. So I'm going to take out the estrogen receptor. I'm going to put in the progesterone receptor. Okay, again, same thing. Is it significant? Yes, it is significant. Okay, and lastly, it is based on tumor size, analyze, survival, Kaplan-Meier. I'm going to take out the progesterone receptor. I'm going to put in the pathological tumor size. They graded the tumor size into 3. Okay, I can't remember offhand. Okay, click OK. So you got less than 2 cm, 2 to 5 cm, and larger than 5 cm. So as you can see, those with larger than 5 cm, they die faster. Okay, those very small, they survive longer. Okay, those in between size, the survival probability is also in between. So you can see that is what we do, Kaplan-Meier analysis. So we can compare between the categorical risk factors. Okay. Okay. Any questions about Kaplan-Meier? Okay. So as mentioned before, Kaplan-Meier, you compare based on the median survival. If you don't have the median, you use the mean. Okay. So you can see here, is it different? Yes. Those without those tumor that are very small, they survive 126 months. Larger bit, 108 months. Very large, they only survive 63 months. Okay, that is the story about Kaplan-Meier analysis. Alright. Okay, any question? Ada apa-apa soalan? Line clear? Okay. Uh, I'm going to proceed to the next one. Okay, which is the topic for today, which is Cox Regression, if there are no questions. Okay. Yeah. Going back to number 2, going to change the screen. Okay, so now we are going to cover on Cox regression. Okay, so we already did the survival analysis. We already shown you the Kaplan-Meier technique. So to simplify matters, Kaplan-Meier is like your chi-square. Kaplan-Meier is like your chi-square. It is the univariate version of survival analysis. Okay. Because what we have done just now, we have proven that everything is significant. The lymph node is significant, the tumor size is significant, the presence and absence of estrogen on progesterone receptor is significant. But we know, in reality, the tumor size is dependent on how long before the patient comes in for treatment. Okay, if the patient comes in very late, the tumor size is already very big. Okay, the tumor size is very big. So when you come in late, chances of you dying faster is there. Okay. How about the type of histology? If the type of histology is poorly differentiated, you die faster. Okay. If it is well differentiated, you can see the demarcation between the cancer and non-cancer cells. So the doctor can take steps to remove as much as tumor cells as possible. Okay, well and good. Okay, so then you survive longer. If it is poorly differentiated, then you die faster. So you can see a lot of these things are related. Okay, lymph node spread. If it is poorly differentiated, the lymph node spread is faster. It is well differentiated, the spread to the lymph node is much slower. Okay. All right. So that is the issue of confounding. So because all the risk factors like tumor size, histology, lymph node involvement, whether it is got estrogen receptor or not, okay, they all have an effect on each other. All right. So now we have to control for the confounding variable. So to control for the confounding variable, we have to run the analysis, okay, using Cox regression. Okay, I'm straight going to this analysis. Okay, so as you can see in this example, okay, I think I can use a PowerPoint already. Okay, let's use a PowerPoint. PowerPoint. Yay, PowerPoint. Dek, dek, dek. Lagi besar. Okay, lagi besar. Okay, so cost regression, it is to look at a compounder model to determine whether the groups differ after adjusting for confounding factors such as differences of demographics. So to do cost regression, you can just click analyze survival and you select cost regression. So there's nothing much about that. Okay. So this one is the discussion about all the different type. Okay. So what you're interested in? Hazard ratio of larger than 1 means a shorter time to event. Hazard ratio less than 1 means less likely to have a shorter time to event. Okay, so that's the difference of cost regression. With logistic regression, you get odds ratio. With cost regression, you get hazard ratio. Okay, and the explanation is the same like your odds ratio. Okay, so if your hazard ratio is higher, you die faster. Hazard ratio is lower, you die slower. Okay, it takes longer for time. Not it dies slower. It takes a longer time for you to die. Okay. All right. So let's go and try to do this. Okay, this one tak ada. Okay, I'm not worried about this. Okay. Let's not worry. Okay. This is the exercise of interest. Okay. So you're going to do based on this exercise. Okay. If you have SPSS version 17 or earlier, you can get this data set from SPSS. When SPSS was bought over by IBM, this breast cancer survival data set is no longer inside there. I'm not sure why, okay, but it is no longer inside there. And I got this one from the old version of SPSS. Okay. Okay. So we already said that for this case, we are going to look at age, categorical histology grade, estrogen receptor status, progesterone receptor status, pathological tumor size, and the lymph node status. So what we are interested in is to determine which of the risk factor can cause you to die faster, yeah, in cases of breast cancer. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, so we already showed this one, okay. We did a Kaplan-Meier analysis for all these variables first, okay. Okay, so I already stated to you for age we cannot get a different line because it is a continuous data. Okay, okay, so we already done all this. Okay, so here inside this analysis, we already stated what is the reference group. So reference group should be same like logistic regression. So for logistic regression, you always take the person of the least risk as the reference group. So here, histology grade, the reference group is 1. Why? It is the most well differentiated one that survive the longer. For estrogen receptor, okay, those with the estrogen receptor present, uh, we will take negative as the reference group. By right, it's supposed to be positive. By right, it's supposed to be positive. I know this one I select negative because Y Chan used negative as a reference group. My personal preference, I will take the one that survive longer as a reference group. So this one, I will have coded positive as a reference group. Procedural receptor, I will code it positive as a reference group. Lymph node negative as a reference group. Tumor size less than 2 cm as the reference group. Okay. So this is the result as given by Y Chan. As you can see, the Y Chan, the results got negative beta value. Why negative beta value? Because they use the higher risk as a reference group. Okay. If I do, I will do the other way around. I will do the lower risk as a reference group. Okay, it is easier to explain based on the lower risk compared to the using the lower risk as a reference group compared to the higher one. Because you get negative, then the hazard ratio will be in decimal point, 0 point whatever. It will be between 0 point something until 1. So it is easier to get in terms of positive, so that the number will be larger than 1. Okay, the hazard ratio will be larger than 1. Okay, I know I'm not making sense right now, but let's do the exercise. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate on how to do Cox regression. Okay, so we already got all the variables that we want. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, okay, so we're going to click analyze, survival, Cox regression. Okay, time, is months. Status is status. Okay, the event is defined as 1. Continue. Okay. What is the variable of interest? It is age. Okay. We have the histological grade, estrogen receptor, progesterone receptor, pathological tumor size, lymph node. Okay. So next we have to set the reference group. Which are the these are all the categorical data except for age. I keep forgetting I'm using the root. I'm pressing on the wrong notebook. Okay, we shave everything to the right side. Okay, for the pathological category, okay, reference group 1 is the first, so CH. Histology grade, okay, this one is also first. Projection receptor is last. So I'm not going to change. If not yes or no, okay. Negative. Negative is first. ER is last. Okay. So we set like that. So reference group siapa yang mana? So for the pathological path category, uh, path category is is the tumor size. So tumor size, the smaller size is quoted as less than 2 cm. So less than 2 cm. Okay. So, okay, sorry, that's my son. Okay. So histology grade dah sudah. Okay. Histological grade, well differentiated, survive longer. Progesterone receptor present, survive longer. Lymph node, negative, survive longer. Estrogen receptor, positive, survive longer. So we set all those reference group. We click continue. Okay. Can we get a plot? Can. But it's not going to make sense. Why? Because they ask you, you want separate line for what? Okay. You want separate line for what? So you will see that it does not make sense. It does not make sense. Continue. Click OK. Option, you can get the 95% CI here. Correlation estimates. Click continue. Click OK. Okay. So you will see here, according to these variables in the equation, please take note, we took the strategy enter. We took the strategy enter. So everything is included inside the analysis. Suddenly everything is negative. Everything is not significant. Age is not significant. Tumor grade, the whether it is well differentiated or not significant. Estrogen receptor not significant. Progesterone receptor not significant. Tumor size not significant. Only thing significant was the lymph node. So suddenly it is weird. Suddenly everything become useless. Only the presence or absence of lymph node have an effect on survival. Okay, so it is not good for you. It is not good for you. So Is there anything you can do about that? Okay, you have to check for interaction. I already stated, you said the tumor size and the lymph node present or absent is very much related. Why? Because it is an indication of how long, sorry, of how long the patient has had the breast cancer before she comes in for treatment. Okay, therefore you should take that into account. So chances are there is interaction. So we have to check for interaction. So how do we check for interaction? Same like logistic. Same like logistic. So to check for interaction, you click analyze. The same thing, the same thing. What like the only thing you set is the for the interaction value. So for the interaction value, okay, chances are the interaction is between lymph nodes present or absent and the tumor size. Okay, sorry, I pressed the wrong button again. Okay, highlight both the tumor size and the lymph node combined. I put in interaction. Okay, I run the analysis. So you can see now, suddenly the picture change. Cox Regression. So what happened was this one, okay, the pathological tumor size and the lymph node, I highlight both at the same time. So the A and B is highlighted. Okay, so this is for interaction. I shift it here. Okay, the rest no need to worry because the rest are maintained the same. Okay? All these reference groups are the same. Click OK. So you get the results, and the result looks like this. Okay. Okay. So you can see here. Okay, tumor size. If it is if it is the size of 2 to 5 cm and there is lymph node, it is insignificant. If it is like the lymph node but tumor size larger than 5 cm, it is not significant. Okay, lymph node is no longer significant here. Tumor size, if it is larger than 5 centimeter, it is always significant. Okay, so suddenly everything else become clearer. If just now earlier our lymph node only lymph node was significant, but once we check for interaction between lymph node and tumor size, suddenly we realize the tumor size, if it is larger than 5 centimeter, it does not matter got lymph node or not, it will still be significant. Okay, they will have an effect on the survival of the patient. If the tumor size is between 2 to 5 cm and also have lymph node, yes, it's going to have an effect on uh, the survival duration. Okay, so by how much? Okay, if it is tumor size 2 to 5 centimeters plus lymph node, patient are 5 times more likely to die faster. If this tumor size of larger than 5 cm, they are 22 times more likely to die faster. And that is how we do Cox regression. Okay. So I'm not doing this like Ayub what Ayub does. He does stage one, step one, step two, step three, step four, right? I start from step 3, immediately go to step 5. And now we are at step 6. Okay. So I'm going to change screen now. Atika, dia tak jumpa join button. Kesian Atika. Sekejap saya jemput Atika sekejap. Request to join. Okay, so Atika, you should be getting a message asking you to join the class. So I'm calling her right now. Hopefully, okay. Alright, she's in. Okay, welcome back Atika. Okay,
Thank you, Doctor.
thank you. Alright, so you already explained to you just now about this. So let's go to the explanation about the discussion. Okay, so you saw it now, eh? So this one was a variable equation. This one, you do it without the interaction. You can see that the only thing that's significant was the lymph node, and the lymph node is 2 times more likely to die faster compared to the rest. Okay, so those with the lymph node present, with breast cancer case, they are more likely to die without those without the lymph node. The rest just almost significant, almost significant. So should we conclude that only women with positive lymph node are higher risk? So what if happens if we include a lymph node and tumor size interaction? So that's what we did. We did the lymph node and tumor size interaction, and we got it to become significant. Okay, so we got it to become significant 0.018. And for the pathological tumor size larger than 5 cm, it is also significant 0.005. So the conclusion was lymph node status is no more statistically significant, but tumor size and the interaction are. So regardless of lymph node status, tumor size larger than 5 cm are at risk. Hazard ratio is 22.19. And subject with tumor size 2 to 5 cm, they are at a high risk if they have positive lymph node, and you end up with a hazard ratio of 5.31. Okay, and with that, we are finished with this lecture on Cox Regression. I know I'm finished early, but as I stated earlier, these are all lectures that are not coming out in your exam. Why are we teaching this? It is meant for your project. It is meant for your project, for the SKM students only. As SKM, you all got no project, so enjoy. So you don't have to worry about this. The only thing come out in the exam is from the first lecture until the non-parametric analysis. After that, the rest are not coming out in the exam. Okay, all these lectures that you have been having are the one that I've been sharing on YouTube, and sorry, the one I've been sharing on Facebook. They are not important for your exam because they're not coming out for your exam. Instead, they are useful for you for your project in second semester. Alright, so we are done. Any question? Doktor, kami blur, tak tahu pangkal ujung. Dah lah survivor tak faham. Lepas tu ajar Cox Regression, lagi tak faham. But at least you know which button to click lah, eh. You click on Analyze, Survivor, then you select Kaplan-Meier. That's the only thing you need to know. Okay. Any question? David Chan. David, what's the story of your proposal? When can I get a copy of your... Oh. When can I get a copy of your proposal? I have not have a full copy of your proposal, my dear.
Can, Prof, can. By this week?
Okay, please. Okay. Basically you all, I know your exam is in Chinese New Year, but it's better for your supervisor to have an idea about your progress of your research. Okay, so David, this is your QR code. Boleh log in. Boleh nampak ah?
Boleh, Prof. Dah, Prof. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Alright, for the rest of you, I think that's it good. Any question? To summarize, why are we teaching survival analysis? Why are we teaching Cox Regression? Because this is one of the faster project that you can do for your second semester. Why? Because at your PKD, at your JKN, Jabatan Kesihatan Negeri, you have a lot of registry. I forgot my student's name already. I know it's Fikri. Fikri was from Perak. He was in charge of the registry for CA colon. So, he has access to the registry. He got the necessary permission. He got access to the registry. Tak payah collect data. The key point here, tak payah collect data. The registry is there. He had an easy time. Data no need to collect. He just run the analysis on the registry. He got his project done. Okay. I forgot his name already, but it's from Malacca. Hazmi, something like that. Hazmi. He did the project about HIV/AIDS in Malacca. He got the registry. Okay. Okay. So cantik je, don't worry. So the beauty about this, you nak buat survival analysis senang. Doctor, what else can we do? You can do on microalbuminuria on diabetic patient. Dekat Pejabat Kesihatan Daerah, you got the registry for your diabetes. Okay. Nowadays, it is computerized, you know. So, no need to go and clerk cases, no need to open file. You just open up the I don't know the name of the software lah, but it's a software. You can have access to all your patients' data, all their last follow-up, all the results are there. You just download only. So the beauty of doing survival analysis, the beauty of doing Cox Regression for your project is that something for you all to think about. Okay, something for you all to think about. I want to do on HIV patient in UKM, but I don't think I can get access to the data. All right. Okay. Any question before we end for today? Basically, what I'm doing now, I'm just giving you contoh, example for you to have an easy project for your second semester. By the way, I don't like sitting like this. Makes my stomach look big. With the camera from there, you can see my stomach already. Alright, any question? No question. Okay. So I know the minute I say it's not coming on the exam, you all, for all I know, when I'm teaching, you all are taking care of your children, making lunch, making breakfast. Okay, but I'm just doing my part, so I'm teaching you all. So there is a chance for you all to do your project easy. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I shall end today. I'm going to stop recording. Stop recording. One. Okay. Stop recording. I'm going to leave you all. Leave. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bro.
Okay. Now I'm going to go to here. I'm going to end the live video. Bye-bye, FB people.